Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late this morning. Technical issues as usual. I'm excited though. Today we're going to be talking about the Launchkey Mark III, the Launchkey 37 specifically, which is the one I've got, which is a really cool form factor. We'll get into talking about that in a moment. But as usual, I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. You guys are going to let me know if there's any further technical issues. Let's hope that the battery doesn't go down even though we're plugged in. And how are y'all doing this morning? Welcome back to another Thursday stream with ADSR. I'm hoping y'all can hear me. And yeah, so last week we finished up some beat making. I got a beat ready for distribution. I've got a beat coming out on Monday on streaming services. That's my commitment to myself. What is going on, everybody? I see people in the chat blowing up. I am monitoring both chats, YouTube and Restream. So that's Facebook and Twitch and all that. And I see a few folks that have turned up early. So I'm sorry if you turned up early and I was a little bit late. Oh, let's turn the skull lamp on, huh? Here we go. That's the aesthetic we're looking for. JJ Hickson, what is going on? Shrikant, what is up? Tawfiq, what is going on? Very excited. That's good to hear. Shrikant from Mumbai, what is going on? Darren James, you've made it early. You're not late like the last 2 weeks. I'll forgive you, I suppose. Astrola has a Novation 37 arriving next week. That's amazing. If you guys don't know, this is what we're looking at today. This is the beautiful Launchkey 37, part of the new Launchkey Mark III line. And if you like that overhead shot, which I hope you did, I finally have a rig set up to do an overhead shot that could come crashing down at any moment. We can only hope it happens on stream. Paulus, what is up? You're not the only one in chat. We're here. Hello. Fusion Sharp Gamer, what's going on? As usual, welcome. Gabu is here. I'm great. How are you, Gabu? Let me know. And I think I'm caught up in the chat. Photography, Light, and Magic. Just getting into Ableton. Looking forward to learning some tricks. Great. I can totally do that. There's a sale happening on ADSR, if you guys don't know. I believe you can get 6 packs for $20, and then there's a sale on a bunch of the courses and other packs, but there's a lo-fi bundle, which is actually really cool. It's one of the packs that I used on actually one of my tracks that's coming out on Monday. I used the Sample Star Lo-Fi Chill Study Beats pack, and it's on sale. 6 packs, $20. You really can't beat it. ADSRsounds.com. Go check it out. Margarita, greetings from California to Greece. What's up, folks on Facebook? John Santiago's laughing at me. Andreas, what is going on? Hello, hello, hello. Should we talk about the Launchkey now? I'm going to hope that this kind of works. Let's go over kind of what this thing looks like. Let me know if you guys can hear that synth. I'm going to zoom out a little. There we go. Then we could probably get the whole thing in there. So it might look a little bit familiar to you if you've seen other Launchkeys before. What we've got is a pitch and mod wheel, which is nice. I think they kind of made a bigger deal out of the fact that, pitch and mod is not on the side of the keys on the 37 because it's a smaller form factor. But I don't know. That doesn't really affect me. But pitch and mod wheel, which is kind of normal for MIDI keyboards. I don't think the mod is doing anything on this instrument. We've got our octave up and down buttons, obviously. We've got a scale mode on the new Launchkeys, which is actually so cool because we also have a screen where we can select what scale we're in. So if I just turn scale mode on now, I'm in C minor, meaning I can play any note on this keyboard and it'll be in the key of C minor. To the trained eye, you know that I just played a C major scale, but it sounded like C minor. I could even play this on the black keys. That's super useful. Obviously, you can hold shift. I'm sure you guys can't see that screen too well, but I can hold shift and scale and set the different scales. So I can be in the major and then all the different modes here, Dorian, Phrygian, all that. But we don't need to do that. And then I believe, let me see, I just haven't tried that before. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, and we don't want to be in scale mode because we know how to play in C minor. There's also an arpeggiator. Let me actually switch my sound to show off the arpeggiator. Let's do a plucked sound. It's interesting, guys. I use the Ableton Live Beta. I use the beta version for some reason. I forget. There was a reason I do. But yesterday it just decided to wipe all my, saved stuff. Like it doesn't have any of my collections or anything. So that's cool. And the arpeggiator comes with a number of settings as well. There's the direction. Obviously that's up. That's down. We can do up, down. And these are all settings, related to the direction. And then we can go even further and change the rate. Let me find a more basic sound. There we go. So that's quarter note. Eighth, 16th. That's fun. Let's keep going. We can do octave. I think that's cool. And it's clutch to have an arpeggiator. We can also hold shift and latch that. No hands. That's what latch does on the arpeggiator. What's going on? Ions, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Mocha Bear, welcome. Glad you could make it. Bueno asks, how portable is the Launchkey 37? It's tough to say. It's obviously not as portable as the Mini. Okay, we don't need to do that anymore. That was a lot. The Mini, let's just compare. Where are you? So this is the Launchkey Mini Mark III. This came out a few months ago. This is your size comparison. So obviously the keys are much smaller. The keys on the 37 and the rest of the Mark III range are full-size keys. So a lot of people complain about not being able to play mini keys. I don't have a problem, but whatever. There's a bit more controls on here that we haven't gotten into yet. There's obviously a screen, which gives you kind of better navigation. And in terms of portability, obviously this Launchkey Mini Mark III is a lot easier to throw in a bag. However, when you're talking about having full-size keys, of course there is a 25 key version of this, which is slightly more portable. However, having that extra octave, I just found to be really nice, and I could carry this under my arm. I shot a video with this at Griffith Park here in California. So I was out and about. I was on the go. I was carrying a backpack with my laptop, and then I was just carrying this with, just carrying it alongside. And it was not a bad experience because it's pretty light. It's not that heavy. And it's just different than carrying around like a 49 key keyboard, which is, significantly longer. and heftier. But they do have fuller size versions. The 49, the larger versions have faders. So there's actually faders and and buttons that go with each of those faders. There's 8 faders, 1 for each track, and then there's 1 for your master. So 9 total faders. Paulu's saying 25 keys is not enough. Yeah, I think in a mini situation, I can deal with it. I can deal with having just 25 keys. But if I want something more robust, like this kind of fits on my desk perfectly too. That's the thing. Should we record a musical idea? Let's do it. I don't know what that's going to look like, but let's give it a try. I'm glad nobody's complaining about noise or interference, and that's good because I was having a bit of a noise issue before we logged on today. So just let me know if you guys are just being nice. Does anybody have a controller but still end up making music within the DAW? Anything I need to learn to play? Yeah, learning some basic keyboarding would definitely benefit you a lot. Because if you're more comfortable just plugging things in with the DAW, that means you got to improve your keyboarding skills, get more comfortable. I kind of like playing around with that idea. Let's do that. And I messed it up from the beginning. Dang it. All right, so I'm going to use the session record button here. I don't know why I'm not doing that in the first place. So here in our grid, we can actually control Ableton Live's session view. So you see that we have all these different clip slots. If you're not familiar with Ableton Live, each one of these little rectangles can hold a musical idea, and then each one of these, bigger columns is a track. So this one here being my harp sound. So I can record a musical idea into any one of these slots. And if you see this purple box right here, or pink box, that's representing what the grid of pads are actually doing in Ableton Live and on the controller. So I can see that these two are red because this track, my harp, is armed. So that means I can play it with my keyboard, so it's red, and that means there are these 2 clip slots that I can record into at the moment. I could even scroll down, and the grid would move, as you see, and these clip slots are there for me to record into. If I use the track button to navigate over, you notice that moves over, because now I can record into the drum rack, into the simpler, etc. But what I can do is press this button. It'll give me a counting of 4 beats, and then we'll be recording. Loop it back. And now it's green because it's a loop that's playing. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Alright, hopefully that doesn't cut off too much of the keyboard. But as you can see here in my musical idea, I am not a perfect player. It's early in the morning for me, and I ran out of coffee last night, which means I'm drinking iced tea this morning, which is a true travesty. And I need to quantize these notes here. Luckily, the Launchkey has a quantize button here. Watch these notes all snap to the grid at the push of a button, and now they are all snapped to that grid and quantized, which is nice workflow to have. And I did see somebody ask, could you use those knobs to record on automation? And the answer is yes. So in Ableton Live, let's turn the metronome off. Actually, we don't need the metronome. Click button, which is very useful. In Ableton Live, we see this little blue hand. If I click on different devices, these are my audio effects, the blue hand will move around. That blue hand represents what the heck these 8 knobs do. So as you can see, we have 8 macro knobs on most of our devices, and we can right away control them with the Launchkey, maybe? What have I done? I know what I've done. So right now, these knobs can actually serve a number of functions, and I actually have them set to volume. You can see my track volume is changing. I was not aware. Right there. You can see them changing. That's no problem though, because we can hold shift and I can press device. It might be hard to see on your screens, but there's little text below and above the grid, which is the shift function. So if I select this one here, now I'm controlling the device. Now I'm able to control these effects. Let's bring up the attack on this. I think that'll be interesting. Oh, I wonder what attack that's affecting. That's funny. That's really obvious. And let's go back and do the reverb. So there's also a device select button, so I don't need to use the mouse to click over between devices. I can use the arrows here. I hold device, and you can see I can switch between all the different devices on my chain here. So now I'm on my basic audio processing rack, which on my channel you can learn how to make your own. And I can start adjusting things here. Let's bring the high cut down. And I have my knobs set to pickup mode, which is my main knob mode that I use. Or just my main, I guess, MIDI mode that I use. What am I trying to do here? Low boosts? No. I want the low cuts. There we go. We'll build something on top of this. But what I was saying before is the pickup mode. And guys, if you're having questions, let me know in the chat, because I'm going to dive into them after I explain this. With the knobs, what you're seeing here is, if we can take a look at this, you will see. Let's actually go back over. I'm going to hold shift. Nope. I'm going to hold device select, and then I'm going to go back to the flange ARP. What you'll notice is the color knob, right? The color knob is currently at, 12, 1, 2 o'clock here. And this knob is currently at, say, 11 o'clock, closer to 12. If I move this knob currently, look, I'm moving it slightly and you're not seeing any movement on screen. You're not going to see movement on screen until I meet the point at which the knob on screen is. That makes it so there's not any crazy jumps. So that especially works for like when we want to switch to have these be volumes. Look at this knob. This knob is cranked all the way up. But if I hold shift and then device and volume, go back to controlling my volume, I wouldn't want track 1 to just jump up to full volume plus 6 dB. No way. But instead, I got to bring it down to where this track is at. And now we're smoothly adjusting. That you can do in preferences. Lincoln MIDI. Nope. Where are we at? Oh yeah, Lincoln MIDI. And takeover mode, pickup. That is what you want. You want the pickup takeover mode. Of course, we have transport controls, so I can play, stop, and record. I can even turn my loop on for arrangement view. I've got an undo button, which we haven't had to use yet. And I've also got a capture MIDI button, which is maybe something we can explain next. Okay, let me see. It also wiped all my destinations on my desktop for some reason. Ableton, so strange. What's happening? I can't scroll here. It's not letting me scroll, chat. You see this? Okay, there we go. It woke up. What do we have here? Oh, we have the Lo-Fi kit. Let's go ahead and open that. Great kit from ADSR. Let's go ahead and find some samples from it. Don't forget that there are 6 Lo-Fi kits on sale for $20. It is a solid bundle, trust me. Let's go ahead and do this split screen and see how it looks. You guys tell me. Now you can see me, hopefully. All right, yeah, there we go. Let's drop some kicks on here. And what you might notice about the launch key is that we're still in session mode. And we're going to change that in a moment. I like that. Let's just make something weird today, chat. Kanye came out with a new song this week. Like, I'm all over it. I'm trying to make weird stuff. I love hi-hats like that. Truly, truly do. Let's grab that. And this is boring, just me selecting samples. You guys don't need to see it on the screen. Let's go ahead and hold shift again. And just like we can use this top row to select what our knobs do, we can use this bottom row to select what our pads do. Paulus, thank you for hanging out in the chat. Appreciate you being here. And you notice that since we switched our pad mode, they are now yellow and they reflect the drum rack. And if you like these sounds as we start to build this, you should check that link in the chat because it is a link to the sound kit. Actually, let me grab one more hi-hat. And let's just play with some ideas. I like those together. I'm actually going to do something like that. So capture MIDI, right? Let's say I'm just jamming along here. And I actually want to bring back some of the sound here. There we go. So say I'm just jamming along, just trying everything. I haven't hit record yet. Just playing ideas. And what Ableton does for us is it kind of records everything I just did at the push of a button in retrospect. So let's go ahead and show you the screen here. So it recorded everything I did in retrospect at the push of that capture MIDI button. That is a function of Ableton Live, but the thing about the Novation Launchkeys is they are built with Ableton integration as their #1 priority. So when Capture MIDI came as a new feature in Ableton Live, it didn't take long for Novation to start incorporating it into things like the SL Mark III has a Capture MIDI button, the Launchkey Mini Mark III has a Capture MIDI button, and now Launchkey 37 has a dedicated Capture MIDI button. I believe on the other devices it's a shift function of another button. Here we have a dedicated button. So like I said, this weird looking MIDI clip here, it captured all those ideas that I played for 24 bars retrospectively. So if you have a great musical idea, or if you're just auditioning ideas for yourself and you like don't want to lose that idea, and you're, you know, the pressure is on when you hit that record button, and we can sometimes never get it to be as great as it was when we were auditioning it. But with the capture MIDI, you don't have that anymore. Let's quantize. This snare is too loud. Oh, whoa. Link up with the grid here. There we go. I want to go ahead and add a sidechain compressor here, meaning that we're taking a signal from the kick and we're going to make a pumping motion. That's an extreme version. I won't do that extreme. I'm a fan. All right, cool. This kit actually has Serum presets. Do you think Serum will melt my computer, chat? Let's find out. I'm gonna go to this view for now. Chat, what is going on? Alexander Hickson Smith says you can map the controls on the complete to Ableton by going to the top right corner and pressing MIDI and then start messing with specific control. Yes. So MIDI mapping, let's talk about that for a quick moment, because I think it's an important function of the of all MIDI controllers, but specifically of the Mark IIIs here, and I think that people get a little scared about it. There's a specific audio effect I want to throw on these drums. Redux. This is a bit crusher. So I'm controlling it with my mouse currently. How would you like to see the keyboard now? I like to throw this on because it can almost sound like a record scratch when you play with it properly. But one thing that we could do, and this actually, there's two ways we can do this. If I always wanted to control that bit crusher, I can hit device lock. And now, no matter where I am in my project, this bit crusher can be controlled, but I need to put it back on device. I always forget to do that. Device, boom. So we're controlling that, but I want to control the down sample value. Where is it? There you are. So now no matter where I am, say I select this one right here, I'm locked. I'm totally locked in here. Let me go to flange ARP. Look, I'm selected on that. Still controlling the bit crush on the drums. So if you hear that crushed sound, we are device locked. Device locked here. I can turn that off. And now we're back to controlling whatever's here. So now I'm controlling the low cut. That is a cool way to not have to do some MIDI mappings, because you can just lock your device, lock your launch key to the device you want to use. But of course you can custom map, and it's not just about custom mapping. So we still have access to our device, our volumes, our pans, and our sends, all just within selecting these buttons, and now it changes the functions of these knobs. But these next 4 pads represent custom modes. So it's not like you have to map over these vital functions. You can create your own custom mappings and have them on a selected mode here. So let's say, for instance, that I wanted to actually map that bit crusher. Let's go ahead and map the down sample knob here. Now it is mapped. Boom. Play. And again, it's kind of like device lock in no matter where I am, I can play it no matter what's selected. But then it's also kind of not, because if I hold shift and then go back to volume, I can now control the volume still. I haven't like over mapped any of these vital functions. I haven't mapped over them at all. They're still here. And then if I go back to my first custom mode, so you can imagine having 4 custom modes. You know, maybe you have a custom mode for your performance. Maybe you have a custom mode that controls your drum effects or drum sounds. Custom mode that controls your synth sounds and your key sounds. And then another custom mode. So that's 8 knobs each. So there's only 8 knobs on the controller. But if you can imagine that you have 4 custom modes, you actually have 8, 16, 24, 32. I think that that's cool. So this is sending note data right now because we are on note mode, or drum mode, I should say. There's also a scale chord mode, which I have not dove in too much into, but as you can probably hear here, it's playing triads. And that's cool, and that adapts based on the scale that you select, obviously. And then there's a user chord mode where you can set your own chords and your own voicings. Of course, we have custom mode at the top row here, which adjusts our knobs. We also have custom modes at the bottom here, which adjusts our pads. We can have 4 custom modes for our pads specifically. And I believe we are changing voicings here. I'm discovering this feature in real time with you all because I haven't had time to play with it. Yeah, I love that. So you can change the voicings right off the bat and then build your own. Let's go ahead and record a sound with that. I didn't like that last chord. Notice I use the record button to loop here. I am a fan of it. What if we just killed the reverb? Alright, I like it. That was a lot of fun. That's the scale chord. Another good use of those knobs. Imagine if Novation came out with a controller that was, you know, just the top section, like just these knobs or whatever in the pads. Because you have scale. Now you can play like scales on this. You can play notes. Yeah, you can play chords now. It's all amazing. Let's move on. What was I going to show off next? Where do we go next, chat? You let me know. Alexander, what are you going to buy now? You tell me. You buying the keyboard? You buying the sound bundle? You let me know. Darren James asks, can you do all this on a complete M32? Not quite. That is the advantage. That is the advantage of being in the Novation system, right? They're designing specifically for Ableton Live. and like the latest version of Ableton Live. So the M32 actually has very, very good Ableton Live integration for a non, Ableton controller. However, it doesn't have all these cool features that sync up directly. It's a lot more difficult to control device volume, pan, sends right off the bat. There's definitely not capture MIDI on there. There is quantize. I believe you can turn the click on. So some of the major functions are there, just not all of them. I would love to add a bass line to this chat. That's kind of where I'm at right now. And we got to find out if Serum will crash the stream. So where is Serum, by the way? Are my plugin folders not here? That'd be so amazing. Yeah, okay, it's here. Actually, hold on. Let's do audio units because I think that's less likely to crash. We did it. Cool. Now let me see if I am organized. Oh, I have lots of ADSR presets here. Let's find a bass. Let's try it. Whoa. Don't like it. Oh, Alexander, are you getting a launch pad? Oh, that last one was cool. Blink and you miss it, folks. We are looping this bass line. Oh, Alexander bought a Launchkey 49 Mark II in January, not realizing about the new ones. It's something to be aware of in the industry if you're getting into buying gear and stuff, to look at product cycles and to pay attention to sort of when the last time something came out and when you can probably expect the next iteration, because these things all happen in cycles, especially since now we're on the Mark III. You can see how long it took to get from Mark I to Mark II and kind of judge from there. But it is frustrating to, wait and not really know what's happening. See what this vocal is. That's a little bit too in a major key, but let me see if I can play with it. Let's go here. Capel, thank you. I'll bring that mic down. Do it. So if I want to add another layer to that loop, let's actually do this on the controller. So my pads, let's go to session view. Make sure I'm here. I want to play this second loop, which is the same. Let's hit the record button, which will allow me to record over. You see my session record button is now lit. This pad is now red. Quantize those, turn session record off. Pad is no longer red, it's just playing. And now we have two versions of this clip. Notice I used that to stop, but I actually automatically started recording. I didn't want that. Wow, that's cool. Let's do another serum. We haven't crashed the stream yet. What's going on, folks? What are we talking about? Man, this track is fire. Thanks. We are literally just messing around, but I appreciate that. Code is life. Oh, you have a Launchpad Mini Mark II. Alexander, you are set up for success. The mic that you have is, the gear that you have is really dope. Regardless of if it's the newest and greatest, you can do a lot with the gear that you have. Capel, I'm glad you could make it today. Give me some feedback. I appreciate you. Yeah, free trials, making sure you use stuff. Don't put too much pressure on your stuff, though. Rogerio, good to see you. I didn't see you come into the chat. Kazumi as well. Welcome to the chat. Hope you guys are enjoying today. Andres, ciao. Thank you for hanging out. What do we think of this? We actually like this? Now I duplicated serum here, so I could grab another preset from the kit. I'm not sure what we're gonna add, but we're gonna add something. Arp craze, could we maybe use the arpeggiator? arpeggiator. Oh, latch is on. Wait, I like that. Please just record that. No hands. That was great. That was a great moment. Stop recording. One thing I wish this controller had, which I don't believe it does, is a duplicate button. I use duplicate all the time as a workflow function. I need it. And, you know, here's something to know about these keyboards. There's these little symbols here, which you probably can't see. It's like a little circle, a little triangle, and a little square, and they have lines going through them, and they're secret buttons. They're secret buttons that currently have no function. Just heard that on the street. Basically meaning that they can add functions to these somewhere down the road. Make it a duplicate button. Just give me a duplicate button. That's all I want. I want to duplicate this clip. We're going to record on top of it. Give me a count-in. This is what happens when you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Guys, the charge on the laptop is going up. We are having a successful stream today, knock on wood. And now we've got some clips, so I could go back to my session mode here, you know, and just start playing around. Oh, that's something I haven't talked about yet. Let's do this one actually. So, these clips, like I just said, we can start playing around and playing different ideas. And I don't want to have to like record into that clip. I want to stop this clip, right? Well, the bottom row can be adjusted to become stop, solo, or mute buttons. Now they're stop buttons. So I was able to stop those clips. Let's bring them back in. Now they're solo buttons. Now they're mute buttons. And now they're just regular clip buttons. So there you go. Output is clipping. Thank you for letting me know. Are we better there? This gear has a mind of its own, to be honest. Woo. I'm gonna bring things down a bit. But it just comes down to, like, if you're not like me and you don't have a YouTube channel where you get a bunch of gear and you just try every single keyboard and all that, like, you got to decide, like, what one piece of gear, what one keyboard do you want to have, do you want to invest in, because this stuff is not cheap. Actually, I would say relatively these launch keys are very, very affordable. This is under $200. I believe this is at $179.99, which is crazy for a non, tiny controller with this much function in it. Relatively, it's inexpensive, but we know that we all have different, situations when we're starting out, how much we can spend on gear. But when you talk about an investment, it's a very good investment to have a piece of gear that can do so many different things. Arpeggiator, scale mode, clip launching, so much baked in functionality. Click, quantize, capture MIDI, all this fun stuff. I guess I'll do one more layer before we go off today. I hope you enjoyed this stream. If you have, youtube.com/TAETRO. That's my channel. TAETRO. I don't need this. There we go. TAETRO. Check me out. Subscribe to my channel. I got lots of cool videos. If you never heard of me before this stream, let me know. Pick yourself up a $20 sound pack bundle from ADSR because that's a great deal. And I actually have a video coming out where I'm talking about limitations, like limiting yourself to single sound packs. And if you buy those sound packs, that bundle, for $20, you'll be set. You can make whole albums with those packs. Eddie makes a good point. Skillshare music theory course. There's one that is actually taught in Ableton Live. If you go to my channel and you find one of my sponsor videos, you'll get a free Skillshare. I guess one function I didn't speak about yet is that if you use the track arrows, this is convenient for performance and stuff. Track arrows, see how I'm scrolling between the tracks? Notice that it is arming the tracks as we go. That is a useful function. You just find the instrument you want, scroll over to it. Alexander, great to hear. Thank you so much for subscribing. Oh, that's a good point. ADSR courses, check that stuff out. I have a couple courses on ADSR with some of the older launch keys, the SL Mark III, which is like the bigger, beefier version of this. And we have another course that we're working on with another piece of gear, which is really cool. Capel has a point in the chat. Capel has a point in the chat. Before we get off, guys, levels. How are we doing on levels? Because sometimes my video mixer shows me that it's peaking, but you guys tell me to make it louder and it's not actually peaking. I don't really know how this works. I just turned a knob, I don't know what it did. Let me throw a mastering chain on this. Magic. Whoa, my key light went out. Interesting. Let's just do a final arrangement of this. I don't even know what's gonna happen here. Stop, 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 stop. Everything is stopped. Okay. I'm gonna go here. And let's launch some clips. What I'm gonna do is click record. I'm gonna click this record button, which is the overdub record. And then we're going to arrange this track. That's not what I wanted to do. Bad start, false alarm. Okay, stop, stop, stop. 1, 2, it's gonna record that first. I'd add a riser there or something. I should have device locked some stuff, I think. This is a bad arrangement, guys. I apologize for letting you down. Let's just give that up while we're doing it. But the whole point of showing that is that's how you could work with session view in arranging. So now you see that we were recording in this arrangement view here, and it was recording on the timeline. It was recording everything from me moving knobs to me launching clips. But I did it poorly. Because it's early. And that's where we're at this morning. That's all we got today, folks. It's the best I can do this morning. I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. Taking a look at the Launchkey 37. This is the new Mark III range. So the 37 and the 25 key don't have faders, but the bigger versions have faders, 8 faders, 1 for each track, and then 1 for a master channel. So that's 9 faders total. That's the biggest difference between the two. The sustain port, and there's MIDI out, a 5-pin MIDI out on this as well, which I think is important to note for all you hardware heads out there. Capel asks, does Novation make 88 key keyboards? I don't know. I can't think of one. I'm not sure if the last range of Launchkeys had them. I don't think the SL series has them. Alexander, you're awesome. Thank you for going and subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't heard of me before, you should go to youtube.com/TAETRO, TAETRO, which is my channel. Subscribe. I do lots of things like this, make beats, etc. Let's actually just play this in the background to be fun. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. That was a fun beat making stream. The beat turned out actually better than I expected it to. What else? Big sale happening over at ADSR. So you can grab 6 packs that are really good. 6 lo-fi packs, specifically if you're into making lo-fi. $20 for 6 packs, so you go a long way with that. So we talked about like spending money and like investing. That's a good investment. Also, courses are 40% off if you're trying to invest in yourself and trying to invest in your education. ADSRsounds.com. There's been links dropped in the chat all stream. Darren James says this got me fired up to learn keyboard. Great. I'm excited that I could fire you up like that. This was a really fun stream. Make sure you subscribe to ADSR's channel. We're usually here every Thursday. I believe we're going to be continuing that. And if you guys hit me up on Twitter at Nick TAETRO, NICKTAETRO, and let me know like what you would like to see on a future stream, or if that you enjoyed the stream, or that you have something you want to ask a question or something, hit me up on Twitter. So I'll answer it. I'm planning for the streams to continue weekly so we can cover all sorts of stuff. I really appreciate you all for hanging. I know it was a little late this morning, but hopefully, you know, there weren't that many technical issues. Hopefully audio was good. Rucane, thank you for hanging out. Darren James, Alexander, Capel, Eddie, I appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Diego, thank you. Everybody who hung around today. Polynomial, appreciate you. Photography, Light, and Magic, thank you for helping out with some of the technical stuff. J-Rock Beats, thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody whose name I missed. I'm trying to keep up. Rogerio, thank you so much. Paluz couldn't hang around the whole time, but he was here. Thank you. Matthias, thank you for being here. Mocha Bear was here. Fusion Sharp Gamer, I don't know if you went to sleep by now. Ion, see? What up? Shrikant, thank you all. I'm sorry if I missed your name. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but we'll be back Thursday. Later today, I'm doing a call-in stream on my channel. So I do a call-in stream every now and then where you can call in and ask creative advice, things like that. I'll be doing that today at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST. Tune in if you're interested. Appreciate you all. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.